Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ain Nadia Ibrahim. My metric number is 2022325887. Alright, as you can see from here, this is the data set presented focuses on COVID-19 cases in Malaysia. Alright, from the raw data sheet here, it contains COVID-19 cases data from all states in Malaysia, and you can see it from column B, covering the period from 25 January 2020 up to 21st December 2024. Alright, the data serve as representative of the pandemic spread throughout the country and the number of cases reported across the different states and categorized by age and group, which is child, adolescent, case adult, case, and the last one is elderly. Alright, now we move on to sheet number 2, which is selected data. This is the selected data I choose, which is I choose only per list, and the date of the cases is remain the same, which is starting from 25 January 2020 up to 14 December 2024. Alright, from the selected data here, I have come to one number, which is total sum cases. Okay, from the selected data here, we have some cases for child is 24,033, for adolescent cases 6,133, for adult cases 9,145 cases, for elderly is 3,143 from 2020 until 2024, and the total for 4 cases is 42,454. Alright, now let's move on to sheet 3, which is descriptive data. Alright, in this sheet, I have provided descriptive statistics for COVID-19 cases across different age group in per list. Several important measures were selected for analysis, including the bold words here: mean, median, mode, standard deviation, range, minimum, and maximum. These statistics help in understanding the distributions and spread of COVID-19 cases for each age and groups. Alright, we start with child cases, which is from age 0 to 11 years old. Alright, the mean number of cases for children for the age of 0 to 11 is 2.24, indicating the average number of cases reported across all entries. Alright, for the median is 0. For the mode, also 0. And for the standard deviation, the standard deviation is 10.46, suggesting that the cases vary significantly, with some reporting much higher numbers of cases. Alright, the next one is range. The range is 238, minimum is 0, and the maximum case is 238. Alright, we move on to adolescent cases from the age of 12 until 29. Alright, the mean number of adolescent cases is 1.72, and the median is 0. The mode is also 0. Alright, and for the standard deviation is 6.50, suggesting that the number of cases varies, but less widely than in the child category. Alright, the next one is a range is 98. Minimum is 0 and the maximum is 98. Right, we've moved on to adult cases from the range age of 30 to 59. Mean is 1.7, median is 0, the mode also 0, and the standard deviations is 5.48, which indicate some variation, though is still lower than in children. Alright, for the range is 75, minimums is 0, and the maximums also 75. Alright, we move on to elderly cases. For the range age of 59 until 80, for the mean, the number for elderly case is 0.59, the median is 0, the mode is also 0. Right, for the standard deviation is 1.84, the lowest among all the groups here, indicating that elderly cases are less varied. Alright, for the range is 35, minimum is same as other cases, which is 0, and the maximum is 35. Alright, the summary for this descriptive data, when comparing the age groups, the child cases 0 to 11 years old category has the highest mean, but the cases are highly variable with a large range of 238, and high standard deviations is 10.46. Alright, for the adolescent 12 to 29 and adult 30 to 59 group have similar mean. They have the similar mean values around 1.7, with adolescent having a slightly lower variation in their case number. Alright, for the elderly cases, group has the lowest mean, which is 0.58, and the least variation in case number, reflecting a relatively lower impact of COVID-19 in the groups of place. Alright, let's move on to the next page, which is VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Okay. This is the data I took from the selected data. Okay, let's move on to here. Okay. In sheet 4 here, we have applied several Excel functions to analyze the COVID-19 data based on the age group and to retrieve relevant insight from the data set. Alright, the first one is VLOOKUP. The function is used to retrieve the total number of cases across all age groups for a specific entry. And here is the formula. This formula sums the value in cell E2 to H2, which represented the cases for different age group. It then uses VLOOKUP to find the corresponding value in the data range. Here, the function looks for the sum values and retrieves the first matching result in the specified range. This is useful for verifying the total case for the specific rows in the data sheet. Alright, for the next one is we move on to the HLOOKUP, which is to finding the highest case value across all ages. Alright, the HLOOKUP functions have identified the highest case numbers among all age groups across multiple rows. The formula we use here, okay, as you can see here, this formula works by first finding the maximum value with the range E2 to H2, which represent cases for different age of groups. Then the HLOOKUP searches for the maximum value in the range E2 to H1787. Across different rows, the formula returns the value from the matching columns, which allows you to easily identify the highest case numbers across all the age group in the datasheet. Alright, we move on to index. Function is used to retrieve the years in which the cases occurred for a specific entry. The formula provided here is the index formula is used to look up the value in the range of A2 to G840. The one in the formula indicates the first row of the data set, and the 3 represented the third column. This allows us to quickly identify the year of the cases for a given data set row here, and you can see it from this 4 table. Alright, now let's move on to pivot table. Alright, this has been used to summarize the COVID-19 cases data across different age group and years. This data organized by year and age group, and we have column for each range here, and each range and for the corresponding case total. This allows us to easily analyze the total cases for each demographic category over the course of several years from 2020 to 2024. Alright, from the pivot table structure here, the data is grouped into the following categories: years, age groups, and sum of cases. This is a sum of cases and this is the age of groups. Alright, the pivot table aggregates the total number of cases for each year and each group, such as the total number of child cases age 0 to 11 in 2020 was 3 and in 2024 is 110. Alright. Okay, these summarizations through the pivot table provides a clear view on how these summarizations throughout the pivot table provides a clear view on how the numbers of cases fluctuated over time and across the age of group, and I have summarized it into the bar graph here. Okay, and you can choose to focus on January or February or March, and all the data will appear from here. Alright, so the last one is pie chart. Pie chart is a useful tool for visualizing the proportion of different categories within a whole, as it displays as a slice of a circle, where each slice represents a category contribution to the total sum. The size of each slice corresponds to the percentage of total value and the category represent. Alright, from the data overview here, child cases is 2,806, adolescent cases is 1,124, adult cases for 14,154, elderly cases is 3,143. Alright, for the pie chart visualizations, the distributions of COVID-19 cases across child, adolescents, adults, and elderly groups. Alright, from the data here, it's clear that adult cases dominate the chart, making up the largest portions from the pie chart. Alright, followed by the cases of elderly, which is 3,143. Child, and the last one is child and adolescent cases contribute much smaller portions of the total. Alright, this chart offers a quick and clear understanding of the relative case proportions across these demographics groups. Alright, okay, and with our Excel, now we are moving on to the Tableau visualizations analysis. Alright, this is my Tableau analysis. Okay, first of all, Tableau is an interactive data visualization tool that enables users to create informative and visual appealing charts and graphs from complex data sets by transforming raw data into visual elements like bar graphs. And Tableau also makes it easier to identify trends, compare the categories, and gain insights. Alright, in this case, okay, the data has been separated into 5 sheets, which is child, adolescents, adult, elderly, and child, adolescent, adult, elderly, and all of the cases here, which is separated by different colors. Alright, we move to child cases first. Child cases consists of 0 to 11 years old. Okay, from the bar graph here, okay, from the bar graph for child cases illustrate that the total cases across the years, and it shows relatively low number of cases in the early years, with an increase in 2021 and more increase in 2022, followed by decline in 2023 and 2024. Alright, for the adolescent cases consists of 12 to 29 years old. The adolescent bar graph shows a similar pattern with child. This and with a noticeable increase in 2021 and 2022. Alright. Alright. Adults had the highest number of cases among all age groups, peaking in 2022. As you can see, it's rise up from here and decreasing starting 2023 and 2024. Alright, for the adult bar graph clearly demonstrates the most significant impact of the pandemic, with the largest numbers of cases observed in 2021 and 2022. Alright, adult also had the highest numbers of cases among all age groups here, peaking in 2022 and decreasing in 2023 and 2024. Alright, the last one is elderly. Alright, consists of 60 to 80 years old. The elderly cases bar graph shows a smaller yet significant numbers of COVID-19 cases. Alright, the elderly had a sharp increase in 2021. Alright, then rise more in 2022. So their numbers were still much lower than those of adults. Alright, from these information and data that provided here. Alright, the summary that I can make here, for the trends of COVID-19 cases across different age groups, the adult groups consistently shows the highest numbers of cases, while children and adolescents had lower but still not notable case numbers. Alright, and for elderly cases with lower, the adults were significant, especially during the peak years of the pandemic, and the bar graph visualizations helps us to understand the fluctuations in case numbers across the years. Alright, and then let's offering insights into the pandemic's progressions and its impacts on the different age group. Alright, that's all from me, and thank you. Bye bye.